Somewhere on the English coast, in a room with no name, a young woman put on a pair of headphones. She was 19 years old. She had never fired a weapon. What she was about to hear would be sent directly to the most secret address in Britain. And if she missed a single signal, thousands of men would die. When Britain declared war on Germany in September 1939, its military faced an invisible problem. The Germans were communicating constantly, by radio, by Morse code, by encrypted naval signals. And someone had to listen. The organization they built was called the Y Service. Most people have never heard of it. At listening stations scattered across Britain and its territories, thousands of operators sat at their receivers, day and night. They were Women's Auxiliary Air Force operators, TS volunteers, civilian recruits. Many were university-educated linguists. Some had been music students, chosen because their ears could detect pitch variations in Morse signals that others simply couldn't hear. They called it reading the air. Every intercepted signal, every group of scrambled letters, was immediately sealed into a pouch. A dispatch rider would take it by motorcycle, in blackout conditions, through the night, to a place the operators themselves were forbidden to name. They knew it only by its postal address. Station X, Bletchley Park, was the nerve center of Britain's code-breaking operation. Inside Hut 6, mathematicians worked on the encrypted messages the Y Service had pulled from the air. But here is what most history books overlook. Without the Y Service interceptors, those women in coastal huts with their headphones, Bletchley Park had nothing to decode. The codebreakers were brilliant, but they were deaf without the listeners. In 1942, German U-boats were sinking Allied ships faster than they could be built. Every convoy route, every departure time. The Germans seemed to know everything, but beneath the water, the U-boats were also transmitting. Short signals, weather reports, position updates, and somewhere on the English coast, a 22-year-old woman was writing it all down. One of the Y Service's most critical operations targeted the German Navy's short signal system, rapid Morse bursts, sometimes less than a second long, designed to be too brief to triangulate. The Y Service developed a system of multiple stations listening simultaneously, cross-referencing signals to pinpoint their source within minutes. The intelligence reached the Admiralty in hours. Convoys were rerouted. Ships survived that would otherwise have been sunk. The Y Service wasn't only in Britain. Stations operated across the British Empire, in Egypt, Kenya, Ceylon, Malta, Gibraltar. One intercept from the Middle East provided advance warning of a German armoured offensive, days before it was launched. Field commanders who received the intelligence didn't know where it came from. They weren't allowed to know. The secret had to be protected at any cost, even if that meant letting some attacks happen, rather than reveal that the Germans had been compromised. When the war ended in May 1945, the women of the Y Service were given specific instructions. They were told never to speak of what they had done, not to their families, not to their friends, not to anyone, ever. Most of them kept that promise for the rest of their lives. They won a war in secret. And then they disappeared back into ordinary life, carrying knowledge that would have changed everything they were ever asked about the war. Their names appear in no victory parade. No monument was built for them. But without them, the codebreakers would have been silent. And the war may have ended very differently.